Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'23 Nissan Z.
Performance, manual with launch control.
That's fast, man.
That's pretty damn good.
Horsepower tick.
400 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque from a twin-turbo 3-liter V6.
The Z is no longer naturally aspirated, and we're sorry that it took so long for us to get a review out.
Yeah, anyways, we finally got it. There's a couple things going on with this car. Some we like, some we don't. Most of it we do like.
Okay, what do you want to start with?
Let's just talk about this transmission.
Yeah, not the looks, because everyone's already seen the looks for 3 years, and if there's a Photoshop thumbnail of this grill, I'm sorry, that's my thing. I kind of do it. I appreciate you enjoying it with me. It's not clickbait, it's just fun.
Yes, thank you for clicking on the video. Anyways, back to this transmission. It is the same transmission, technically, as the last generation. However, they had to change the synchros on first gear and second gear to be able to handle the torque from this twin-turbo engine. Now, first and second gears are the gears that I have problems with, so I'm going to use the automatic downshifting. Here we go, rev matching, into second, and it did not really want to get into second. I've been getting it to like grind here and there.
Yeah, the first time I drove it, like that.
Yeah, and it just, I don't expect this from a new car, maybe a used car down the line.
Something to screw up. So if you're out there driving manual and you hit him with the zing, the zzz,
yeah.
Don't worry, us professionals do it too.
Okay, so here, I'll just stop again. Here's go first. I'm just gonna try and get into second nicely this time. I have to like jam it in there.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's just not the best feeling manual transmission.
It's not.
But how would this compare to the rubbery feeling manual transmission of the M3 of this newest generation?
It would be similar, and I actually prefer the rubberiness of the M3.
That one was nice. And then we don't know what the new Super transmission is going to feel like because we just don't have that yet. And we don't have access to a model to sit in and go clunk, 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 clunk yet.
And apparently they're kind of using parts bin stuff from BMW to make it feel a little bit different.
Let's hope M2.
Anyways, what I do like about this car is the engine. This engine is fantastic, and let's use this engine and transmission and suspension into Cliche Corner. And dude, this thing pulls really hard, so much power, so much torque.
It's almost too much for Cliche Corner.
Yeah, and I have the traction on for reasons we'll explain soon, but man, this engine is really nice. I understand fully why they put it in here. It's so torquey, so responsive, and they did some crazy trick stuff with the turbo. It apparently has a turbo speed sensor, which you can also see because you have the triple gauge pod for heritage, but in one of the gauge pods, you can see the turbo speed. Now, turbo speed is used in conjunction with the boost, so you do have both gauges, but it's kind of funny still.
Yeah, but it like the power is nice. Like, okay, you're in a go lower. Not lower.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, we're under 3,000 RPM. Floor it.
And it's already picked up.
Compared to old Zs that are naturally aspirated, they do not have any of that, and that is very refreshing to have in a Z.
Yes, I would compare this similarly, obviously, to the Supra engine, but the Supra engine's just a little bit punchier, and the dynos of this.
But we haven't manual Supra yet.
No, but the engine. So the dynos have been showing that the Supra is making more power than this.
Also, sorry for holding your hand back in that gear. I just knew you were going to shift, and I didn't want that to happen.
You want to hold my other hand?
This is a shift lock. Okay, so I've got my 350Z because I wanted to buy one to have a drift car. I've been drifting with it here and there. My sciatica acted up, so I can't drift too much.
Yeah, so everyone buys Zs for drifting, right? That's why you bought one.
The marketing, like the everything, the whole history, it's about sliding.
Everybody knows Zs for sliding. So let's see if you can do a donut around this car. Now let's see if I can do a donut around your car.
Don't even think about it, buddy.
So Nissan Canada said that we can't actually do any donuts. Traction control must be on, no burnouts, no nothing.
No sliding, no brake stands.
So Yuri, in honor of that rule that we cannot break, because they'll probably ban us from the rest of Nissan's history of press fleets, can you do 3 more around this car?
I don't know. Let's find out. Nissan Canada said, I'll probably be able to take this to the track in October to slide it because they want all the journalists to have a chance to drive the car before it gets damaged, I guess.
It is unfortunate. We understand why they did it, to save the tires.
I guess it's just like, well, I mean, we could buy new tires. It's just whatever.
But what they didn't say and what we didn't say is that Toyota gave us a Supra and said, yeah, have at it. Go to the track. Do whatever you want. Do burnouts. Do whatever.
Yeah. So then I also, if we don't get a chance to drift it in October, before winter and take off the press feed, I did ask if I can buy this press unit so that it's mine and then I can drift it and not get in trouble. So if they won't sell it to me and they won't let us drift it on a track day, we got our insurance and everything, we can get new tires, then I don't know what to tell you guys.
I cannot confirm or deny whether this can drift, or a burnout, or a brake stand, or anything. Okay, so I have the traction on, and the traction is now a problem because I can't turn it off because Nissan Canada says don't turn it off. Now, when I try and enter a corner with full power, it cuts the power on me like it did through Cliche Corner, and it's very abrupt.
But what's nice is that if you stay in the gas, it gets right back on it, unlike those old AMGs that you had to fully let off before it would let you get back on power.
Now that we have that entire rant out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. We do have a mechanical LSD, which is nice because we have the performance trim. Now the performance trim is quite expensive compared to the base trim, but you do get some
like
stuff.
$5,000 more?
No, like way more.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
more.
you kind of have to. I upgraded the LSD in my 350Z to like a race LSD, which is like clunk, 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 clunk.
Okay, but
it's sick.
What I will say is I would recommend the base model, having not even driven it, if you're going to modify this car. If you're going to enjoy it for what this is, definitely just get this performance trim.
Well, there's also a Z Proto edition,
which is like $5,000 more than this, which is already sold out, so we shouldn't even acknowledge its existence.
Well, okay, so like I'll swing to that real quick. You get the same color, but then you get the bronzish, goldish wheels and like yellow trim, and that's to go off like the I guess the prototype thing that they showed like 6 years ago or 4 years, however long it feels like it's been 3, I think.
Yeah, and then you also get the yellow calipers, and that's it. And it's limited to 240 units in the States.
So every dealer is like getting one maybe or something like that. So that's why they didn't order it. They made this like recreation with black wheels and black interior, and I am very excited to see those getting listed at dealerships used with 10 kilometers for $30,000 more.
Yes, let's hope tsp.truecar.com gets them because they'll have discounted price offers.
Yeah, you'll see the in-stock dealer pricing, and then you could also buy 350Zs there and 370Zs.
Yes, definitely used cars as well. Now, back to the good stuff, because again, we got sidetracked. The suspension is fantastic on this car. I really like it. It is actually really soft, almost too soft, but I really like it.
I don't think it's too soft. I think it's just right.
It is. Like they did a great job.
Like that thing with the porridges.
Yes, that thing.
Just
Goldilocks,
right, yeah.
That's what it is. I really like the suspension. Steering is okay. It's electronically boosted.
Light.
Yeah, it's really light.
Do you like it more than like 350, 370 hydraulic steering?
I honestly don't really remember it. You tell me.
I like the heavier like hydraulic steering more. It's like this feels almost like too light.
I feel like I would like the older steering as well because hydraulic steering is really nice.
But then this is different than the Infinity that it's kind of based the engine off of.
Yeah. It's not exactly the Q50 or Q60 Red Sport.
And it's not the Q50 frame. It's the 370 frame they built it off of.
Yes, exactly. Now let's get you into the driver's seat of this thing.
Z-Boy gang.
Yeah, exactly.
Me, Nolan, and James.
Are you even going to understand how to drive this? It's too new for you.
Auto rev match off, which means I can go all the way to red line to launch it, which means launch control won't be active.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not going to launch from there.
Okay. That's traction cutting.
Oh,
grind it into
Brandon!
second.
Not my fault!
It's quick though.
Really good power. Okay, and then I want to do a nice low speed third or low RPM third. And that's what I'm missing in my 350.
Yeah, those turbos spool up real quick.
But you know what I'm not missing from my 350? The sound. This thing sounds so bad.
There's no sound. Like
That's why
it sounds like a vacuum.
we recorded sound from inside the engine. That's how bad this is. And so let's listen to it from the
outside. It still sounds like a vacuum from the outside. It sounds like nothing from in here. So, I mean, it's for regulations and stuff, but
compared to my 350Z.
So if you're gonna buy one of these, just throw on some straight pipes from
Hot Rod Scots, put on the trick muffler like I got.
Nice and quiet.
And then you could just be nice and quiet on public roads, and then when you go to the track, you can open her up.
Because apparently the automatic transmission has a different exhaust on it.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, cliche corner. Rev match on. And traction on.
See, cut power.
But then it gets back on. It's so quick.
It does.
Which
It's
is
just-
nice.
I don't like it.
And I'm not used to having so much like push constantly.
Yes.
Like the turbos are really good.
The torque is, for being 350 pound-feet, it feels like more.
Yeah, it's nice. Hopefully it's a cheater car.
I don't think so. They've already dynoed it.
Who's they?
The internet.
Oh, thank you, internet. I think we're part of internet too.
Yeah, we are. We did dyno things. Watch that video coming soon.
And then back to the exhaust sound. Here is some gratuitous shots of the car accelerating with dubbed over sounds from my straight pipe 350Z.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So quickly on the looks as well. Do you like this color?
I love this color. The paint is awesome.
Very cool. Hard to film, but I like it. So this is like some yellowish stuff, so that's cool. You can get it in other cool colors like blues and reds. You can get it with the black roof, without the black roof. We got that samurai sword kind of thing going down the side.
The car looks great,
We
and I really like how it looks from behind.
Yeah, I like the 280 style lights. I guess here's a version of like every single Z, so you can see where the inspiration from everything came. We've got like door handles on the side like on my 350Z.
But they moved the badge from the front fender back to the B pillar, just like it was on the 240 280s.
Yeah, and then like the whole front end is like that, like the 280s if it didn't have a bumper, and it's got like a similar color. The hood bump kind of thing is cool.
And then the big front end, we've got to talk about that.
I'm not into the big front end anymore. After seeing it in person, I'm like, okay, this kind of looks stupid. Like it looks cool, but it kind of does look dumb. And I much prefer the look of that fair lady from Japan of this version.
They split the grille and it actually looks really good.
And it's gonna suck when you have to put a front license plate on this. So let's see what it would look like with the license plate on it, like my Z, and with my cool super speed wheels. Much better. But it is cool that they made this look like the prototype. 100,000% points for that, because I did complain about that in the Acura TLX A-Spec video. Check that video out if you want to get mad at me if you're an Acura fanboy.
And then the headlights are pretty interesting looking, I would
Okay,
say.
what I don't like about the headlights is when you use your turn signals, the DRLs go away and it's just the top flashing. And if you go with your hazards on, it's just like, it looks like eyelashes.
Yeah.
You don't even need to get the eyelash extension. It's like they do on Volkswagen Beetles and stuff.
Yeah. Overall, I think this looks the best from behind, like by far.
It's got a very cool rear three-quarter look. But like, does it look that much cooler than like my 350Z? Like my 350Z looks pretty sick.
From behind, no, this is definitely way better.
I like strongly disagree.
Yeah, you would. It's your car, but I do like the front end of yours a lot.
Okay, and then the wheels.
Wheels are great. They're forged, they're raised.
Would be cooler if I paid $5,000 more and got them in bronze.
Yeah, for the proto ones, but whatever. Just paint these ones.
And then what would be the Continental recommended tire for a Z?
The Extreme Contact Sport.
You know what I have on my Nissan 350Z drift car?
Not the Sport because they're too grippy.
No, I've got those on the front.
Okay.
And then in the back, I've got DWS 06 Plus.
That makes sense.
And they're smaller and skinnier and run off the stock Z wheels, which would look awful on this car from the 350Z Jet.
But the last thing I want to talk about the looks is the exhaust. It looks pretty cool. It's got the little the circles around the tips. It's nice.
Yeah, and then the logos are cool because they're like white outlined.
Yeah.
And then if you pop the trunk, there's like a nice hidden button there, so it's not like something big, gross, and ugly.
And it's still a hatchback, which is really nice, pretty practical. And they did move the strut brace a little bit further in, so that it doesn't really cut off your whole storage area anymore.
Can you fit drift wheels in the back? Because I can fit 4 with all my tools and my jack in my 350Z. Seems like you could probably fit it in here, but you'd screw up your nice new car interior, so you have to wait until this is like a 15-year-old S-Box and then start throwing wheels in here.
Yeah, we didn't want to scratch up the interior.
So overall, looks-wise, do you like it more than a Supra, BRZ 86, 370? Is there anything else? M2 kind of, even though it's more expensive?
I mean, if you throw in M2, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, the current gen M2 doesn't exist.
No, previous gen.
Oh, M2 by far.
Yeah, okay. But then
that's not a competitor to this. It's not even close.
Oh my god, in a couple of years.
An M240i, yes.
Well, I guess. Yeah, do you like this more than M240i of this gen?
I like this more.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I like this more than a lot of the cars. Like, I think a BRZ looks better than this.
Sorry,
not a BRZ, a GR86.
I think I'd juice a little more if I saw a Supra on the road.
I'd be equally excited.
Like, I haven't seen one of these on the road, but every time I see a Supra, it's like, is that a Supra? Like, I feel like a Supra.
I definitely look at every Supra. I think this is kind of tied, but I I prefer the back end of this more.
I think modified 86s are going to be able to compete with this.
Yes.
So now moving on to the interior. The thing that I noticed first was the gauge cluster does not move up and down with the steering wheel like it does in the 350 and 370. It's all digital, but it does look nice for digital unless you change the mode to the ugly ones that you get in like a Rogue.
Yeah, it's called enhanced. Never use that mode. I don't even know why they added that mode, to be honest.
Who knows?
The
But
sport mode is great.
yeah, and then we do have shift lights up there at the top, which I think is fantastic. They make it very easy to shift, and it turns red, and then you can still shift. Like, I haven't missed a shift yet. I've only grinded gears.
And you can also customize your shift point if you want, but auto I think is really good.
And then to the right, we got those little gauge pods that you mentioned earlier, which all old Zs had. To the right, we have an infotainment, which is the normal Nissan style infotainment. Not the best, not the worst. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, volume knob, hard buttons. And then we also have Sirius XM, the infotainment. You can rewind. The sound system is pretty good. So if you get this, make sure you get your free 3-month trial for this car and listen to good music while driving.
Yes, like channel 44.
You can listen to like all that cool Japanese like drift show music.
Oh, the whatever that's called.
Initial D.
Initial D.
Eurobeats.
Yes, BPM channel 51 would be good for that.
Yeah. If you bought the car, not if it was a press car, because no drift in press car.
Keep the traction on and have some medium fun.
Yeah. You just turn down the Eurobeats to a reasonable volume. Really bad reverse camera, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, and I've had it kind of freeze on me and just act really slow sometimes, which sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the way cars are. And then our steering wheel, it's like the gloss black buttons, like, no.
I could do without the gloss black. The steering wheel is nice, it looks cool. The Z logo is nice, and apparently it's inspired, at least partially, by the R32 GTR.
You know what I like is the stock wheel from the 240SX. And there's that guy on Instagram doing like all kinds of cool stuff in a 240SX, and like the POV of him like,
oh
yeah, that's cool. Even though I guess 240SX, 180SX isn't really Z car, but it kind of like
right. And then the materials in here are actually quite nice. Like it's some cheap plastic here and there, obviously, but where your knees are and stuff, it's actually soft padding on the inside.
Yo, this gets the award for the softest armrest. Like, feel that one.
Yeah, I know. It's really good. The thing that sucks though is the cup holders for numerous different reasons. Yuri, try and shift with this all the way back. You're gonna bang your elbow. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks.
Why don't you just shift with your hand like this?
I actually do that and I still hit.
And the cup holders will not fit a small cup, not even close. They are all pretty bad. Unlike my 350Z, which has a cup holder up here that's also removable in case people want to steal it, and 2 in the armrest.
Yeah, and then this armrest, once it's in the forward position, you can press this button and then use it as a storage space, which is kind of nice. And then we have heated seats over here, just like a Subaru would, same switches, and then we actually trunk pop from here.
Yeah, and then we've got a traction off button here, which is pretty good. It's nice
Don't touch it!
It's nice that I know. If I push it, we're going to call again. But then there's also a rev match button here that if you just click once, does nothing, but you have to hold it until the S goes away next to the 3, and then it's off. And then clicking it won't put it back on until you hold it and you see that S.
I understand why they did that, just an extra safety measure.
I don't know. Give me the click.
I know.
One click feels good.
It's nice that theoretically you can turn off the traction by just pressing it and not holding it.
Don't even tease me with that.
I'm sorry.
And then for theoretical, using this car for what it was built for, it does have a nice handbrake here on the inside. It probably works pretty well, but like it doesn't have like the big stick handbrake coming out like mine does, so I don't know what's up with that.
It works well for parking, Yuri.
Oh, and then our phone actually fits here in the phone area nicely.
Yeah, it does.
That's nice. That's a shock. Like, you never know.
Well, you know what isn't nice? The seats. Once you're in them and you're finally in a comfortable position, they are quite nice. But it takes a long time to actually get used to it. It took me a solid day to get into a comfortable position,
Like
because
with the manual adjustment.
There's
and
so
then
many different types of adjustments.
the manual and electric adjustment on the inside. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like I like the soft material that's not leather. For
Yeah,
sure.
no, they definitely hold you in. They're bolstered, and you don't slide around.
Visors.
Wow, let's check these.
Doesn't look good. 3, 2, 1.
Fail
No.
and extension.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a Z car. I'll give it a pass because I like Z cars.
Fail.
Hey, where's your cigarette lighter?
Apparently it's down here by my left foot.
That's so weird, but I guess people want to plug in dash cams and we got to give them a plug, right?
It's nice to have. So I think that's it with this rear-wheel drive reincarnation of a sports car.
Let's get to the price.
The Z starts at $46,498.
Canadian.
And this one is $59,448.
And they're all spoken for, right?
Apparently, as of right now, you cannot buy one in Canada.
So I guess all you can really do if you want one is hit up tsp.truecar.com and hope some dealers just throw them up there real soon.
Pricing, I think they actually did a pretty good job because it undercuts the Supra by like $9,000 or $10,000 at the spec.
But you know what? After driving this, I'm much more excited for the manual Supra than I initially was.
Same here, actually, because this is good, but the manual Supra might be great.
And then would you take this over, if you had to go like Nissan Z car, would you go this or 370?
I'd go 350.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if it was this in 370, like I still think I like 370 more as a car, but like having this on the road right when it comes out is going to be so freaking cool.
Everyone's staring at me when I'm driving this. People are excited to see this. Everyone's got their phones out right now.
Also, you can buy this in automatic,
Yes, you can.
but we don't know how that drives.
No.
So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. We still have some merch. Jacob's wearing this thing.
Yeah, head up our merch store. Go to patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. Early access to videos, YouTube membership, same thing, but on YouTube.
Hit us on Instagram, ask us questions, and we got a thanks button, but no one uses that. Leave a comment, be nice. Bye, guys.
See you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed the new Nissan Z video.
Z, not Z. Z.